Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about the Pokemon leaks. Yay! Are we excited? I'm not going to go too deep in them, but I will cover two stories that I think everyone who has looked into this so far knows what I'm talking about, and are desperately crying to themselves because of the trauma now that they're about to re-experience. So let's go! Let's do it! Yay! In the distance, past when boundary between Pokemon and humans were still blurred. I can't. There was a woman and her companions. Every day they were bored, so they would often catch Slackoth living in the nearby forest. They would play cruel games with the captured Slackoth, sometimes killing them for fun. Jesus, gouging out their eyes or cutting off their ears. What? Huh? Excuse me? One day, the woman was walking alone in the forest and saw a Slackoth hanging from a tree. She climbed the tree to catch it, but slipped and injured herself. At that moment, a Vigoroth appeared. This Vigoroth had a torn ear. Okay, that's oddly specific. I don't know why that... Okay, whatever. The woman, startled, tried to flee, but her injured leg hurt too much, and she couldn't move. The Vigoroth, with torn ear, suddenly attacked her when it saw her. The woman lost consciousness. When she woke up, she was in a familiar place. Before her lay a clear lake surrounded by trees, from which many Slackoth and Vigoroth were hanging. All the Pokemon bore wounds somewhere on their bodies, marks left by the woman and her companions. I love it. Upon closer inspection, she noticed that some of the Slackoth hanging from the trees, were corpses. This is a kid's game, by the way. They were the very Slackoth that the woman and her friends had killed and discarded. The Slackoth were throwing those corpses into the lake. Terrified, the woman tried to run away, but a Slackoth appeared. This Slacking also had a torn ear. The woman realized that this was the same Vigoroth she had seen earlier, and fear overwhelmed her, causing her to faint once more. When the woman regained consciousness, she found herself at the entrance of the forest near her home. Surrounded by her friends, they carried her back to her house. Sometime later, the woman gave birth to a child. But it wasn't a human child, it was a Slackoth. She intended to abandon it, but couldn't bring herself to do so. She stopped meeting with her friends and decided to raise the Slackoth. What the fuck, man? This is Pokemon? I'd rather play Pal World and, deal with that shit than deal with Pokemon if this is going to be how the stories are going to be. Holy cow. What the hell? No. This is Game Freak? Yeah. That's a appropriate name for them nowadays, apparently. Yeesh. One day, her friends concerned about her visited the near her home. They found the Slackoth sleeping there, the child of the woman. As they always did, they caught the Slackoth and stabbed it in the chest and killed it. Isn't this a wonderful fairy tale, guys? I'm enjoying this. No, I'm not. Sarcasm. Sarcasm. They took the corpse and headed to the woman's house. When she saw the slain Slackoth, the woman was overwhelmed with sorrow. She grabbed the Slackoth's body and ran deep into the forest. Her friends, shocked, chased after her. As they ventured deep into the forest, the surroundings suddenly opened up, and they found the same clear lake from before. Around the lake were many Slackoth and Vigoroth. The woman stood before the lake, and holding the lifeless body of the Slackoth, she threw herself into the water. Oh my God, no! Afterwards, the woman's friends began to treat Slackoth as companions, just as she had in her final moments. No, that is not a, well, shucks, we learned our mistakes. No, no. Gee, we had a valuable life lesson here, guys, didn't we? No! There was a time when boundary between Pokemon and humans was blurred. Oh, I hate this line. In a coastal village where there was a man, one day he was walking along the shore. He found a female Octillery washed up on the beach. The man had relations with the Octillery and then threw it back into the sea. The next day, he went to the same spot and found the Octillery again, and he once more had relations with it and threw it back into the fucking sea as before. No! This is... Stop pumping and dumping! No! No! Oh, God. One night, after several days had passed, the man had a dream. In the dream, the Octillery spoke to him, "I cannot come to you, but I will deliver our child to you. It is our child, yours and mine." You cannot escape. You can't even say you're going out to get the milk. Nope. No. Oh boy. The next morning, the man went to the place where he had met the Octillery. There, he found a boy. Oh, the man took the boy home and raised him. Time passed. The boy grew into a young man, and the father passed away. The young man was always lonely. One day, as the young man was walking along the shore, he saw a group of people in the distance. They held very large swords in the hands as they danced. The young man approached the people. As he got closer, he saw that Sharpedo were playing along the beach. When he tried to get even closer, the Sharpedo suddenly leapt into the sea all at once. However, one of the Sharpedo lingered, looking around 3 times before swimming away. At the spot where the Sharpedo had been playing, there was a large sword lying on the ground. It was a shape he had never seen before, and it was very sharp and pointed. The young man took the sword home. The next day, a young man took the sword and went into the forest. While walking through the forest, he encountered an Ursaring. Sorry if I said that wrong, by the way. I can barely see. I mean, it's very blurred text, so I'm working with what I'm dealt with. He tried slashing at the Ursaring's mouth with the sword, and the mouth was easily severed. Gee, what the fuck? Next, he stabbed at the Ursaring's eyes. They were easily pierced. Lovely. Finally, the young man thrust the sword into the Ursaring's chest, and Ursaring died effortlessly. That day, the young man killed 30 Ursarings. Oh, fucking what? Jeffrey Dahmer type of shit. Holy cow. After that, he always carried the sword with him, playing by injuring Pokemon he encountered or cutting off parts of their bodies. Why is it they're having fun cutting up the Pokemon? What? This isn't like Hell's Kitchen, okay? No. Pokemon Kitchen? No. One autumn, while the young man was searching for firewood, he lost his way. After walking for a while, he stumbled upon an Ursaring's den. Inside, there was an elderly Ursaring lying down. The elderly Ursaring looked at the young man and said, "Come inside." The young man hesitated, but as it was getting dark outside, he entered the den. Before long, people began entering the den, one after another, filling the room completely. Looking closer, he saw that all these people had scared faces, and some were missing their eyes. They were chatting among themselves, but the young man ignored them and fell asleep. At one point, he woke up to find the elderly Ursaring lying beside him. He fell asleep again, okay. When he awoke once more, there were many people around, talking about something. Again, the young man ignored them and went back to sleep. Nothing to make this man not go to sleep. Holy cow. When spring arrived, the elderly Ursaring spoke. "Do you want to go home? Then I shall send you home. When you return, a Whelford, whatever, will soon be found near the village. Go there, we will send a man. You must leave the sword behind and bring a witness. Why did you do such things, cutting faces and slicing off noses?" The elderly Ursaring escorted the young man back to the village. Upon his return, the young man encountered everything that had happened to the villagers. The following morning, the young man took some villagers with him and headed to the shore. As they walked along the coast, they found a large whale lord. Whale lord? Yeah, okay. Nearby on the beach was a Teddiursa. Teddiursa? Okay. When it noticed the young man, the Teddiursa hid in the forest, and a large Ursaring came out in its place. As Ursaring charged at him, the young man tried to draw the sword. He had hidden, but it got stuck, and he couldn't pull it out. So he rushed at the Ursaring with his bare hands. Okay. The young man and the Ursaring grappled and punched each other's faces. They strangled each other with all their strength, and so they choked each other to death, collapsing on top of one another. The end. Okay, fuck. So that's how a lot of those things are going. I don't want to touch upon any more stories. I think that's enough. Let me know down in the comments what you think about these stories. I'm honestly in shock at the moment. I don't know what to say, other than, fuck, Christ, Nintendo, get your shit together. This, I would hate to see what other things could get leaked, because, oh my lord, this is bad. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna get some sleep, if I can, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys are having a better day than me, if that's possible. And yeah, bye-bye. Ugh.